We're live. Hello, YouTube, our
Hello,
amazing
YouTube.
fans.
Welcome to.
Um,
Welcome home.
Manila, your sign on's always the best, huh? Okay, now we're good. Go ahead, Julia.
Okay, cool. I really, really, really loved this book. Actually, I thought it was like really interesting. I was talking to somebody else about it because I told you like my friend Wendy, her husband won it in. Anyways, and she loved it. And I was like, okay. And I felt like up until like 75%, I was just like, when is like the other shoe gonna drop? Like, what's happening? I thought it was gonna be like magical realism, and then we got to the end, and that bitch was insane. I was just like, that's crazy. Like, that's actually crazy. Like, that's really, really wild. I don't think this charger works. The other one works. Um, Overall, I really liked the book. She was unlikable through and through, which usually I'm like, oh, I fucking hate the main character, blah, blah, blah. But in this case, I liked it because there was no, like, usually when we read books and I hate a character, it's because, like, everybody else is, like, it gradually gets better and everybody's, like, getting better and, like, this person's still a piece of shit. But, like, I love that she was an entire, like, she was just absolutely crazy and just, like, batshit crazy the entire book. I think she was an unreliable narrator. I thought, like, it was a really good way of showing, like, the internal monologue of somebody who might it was just interesting to see her internal monologue. um and I do feel like some influencers probably do think like that. I don't think that's outside the realm of like possibility of like what she's thinking and how she perceives herself, just because I feel like, especially with bigger influencers, and we see it all the time, or like I see it all the time. I think I'm like chronically online more than you guys. It's just like everything is so performative. Like you were literally like, there are two sides of you. It's like the person that you put online and the person that you are in real life. And I think this was just a great example of that. Like you're just performing all the time. Like you're an actor. You know what I mean? And the fact that she was just like crazy, and the nannies, and then whatever, and like, do you guys remember the ballerina farm drama? Okay, Darren probably has no idea, but like when now, like you understand me, like you knowing it, I'm just like, wow, like that's like really crazy. I really enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the premise of it. The Shannon, and honestly, good for her for fucking her husband. I'm not gonna lie. Good for you for sticking it to her in some way. I'm glad she fucked her husband. Um, Her husband was a fucking loser. And okay, all that to say, what was I gonna say? I don't know.
Oh,
I think it was ridiculous. And the one part I did not like about the book that kind of just like completely threw me off was that everybody allowed her to be like that in the end. I thought it was like really irresponsible for her mother, for Clementine, for the courts, for everybody to allow her to go back and try to live that life, knowing that she had a stable child. She was absolutely insane, and she brought more children into the world. I really, really thought her husband was going to leave her. I thought that everything was like. I just don't understand how that happened, and I don't like that because I feel like that also shows, and I guess that's the point of it, just like how irresponsible everybody else was in her life. And that just completely threw me off. I was just like, okay, so where was like if Clementine left, why did it take 4 more children for her to come back and be like, actually, I'm gonna take the fucking kids? Like she was insane. Like she was literally insane. Your sons were living down the street. Your husband was going and watching football, and they just like enabled it for years and years and years. Like if Clementine would have come, how long would that have gone on? Like how long would they have just like let her live in this reality? Like that's absolutely insane to me. Um, and I also don't like the fact that they just like kind of um like chalked it all up to like her being like insane in the end, because I do think that like we're like excusing all of her behavior because oh like she was just like crazy, but like again, tying back to, I do think there are people who are genuinely like that and genuinely feel that way that are not crazy. They just like have this inflated sense of self because they have like fame. And these are just like my preliminary thoughts. I will say more once you guys go, but that's where I'm at right now. Overall, I really love the book. I thought it was like so interesting. Like I said, it was like slow going just because I thought it was gonna be magical realism, and I was just like, okay, how is this tying in? She's in the past. Like, what the fuck is going on? And there was just like a couple of scenes too that like floored me, and like thinking back to it, like you don't this is a book I would reread, looking at it from the light of like she was going insane, and like this was not like magical realism, like she was like this was like what she was saying, like when she was sitting at the table and Mary, she brought her brothers over, but she's like, oh my god, like she has a crush, and she was looking at her like, oh, and her dad, and she's like, and I look over at my husband, and he was looking at her like that too, like disgusted, and I was like, yeah, he was looking at her disgusted because that's her fucking brother, you freak. That is her brother, you crazy bitch. And then like also her like actually assaulting Shannon too was like in the moment you don't see it. Like I didn't think anything of it, and then the report came out, and I was like, wait, what? And then I went back and I was like, oh my god, yeah, like she. And again, we don't know, right? Because she's such an unreliable narrator that we don't fucking know. We don't really know like we don't know what happened like whatsoever. But like her talking about her underwear and stuff like that. So, anyways, that's all I have for now. I'm gonna cut myself off for you guys.
Okay. Cool.
My turn, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I really like the book too, only because it was such a train wreck. And it's like I couldn't stop reading it. I wanted to keep reading more because it was so messed up. You guys have read Yellow Face, right?
No, and I want
No.
to. That's where she pretends to be like another Asian woman, right?
Yeah.
I have to read it.
I mean, I got this. It was like that to me. That book was crazy too. And this book was like insane too. This character was like actually one of the best characters I've ever read because she's
Mm-hmm.
nuts. But the whole time I kept picturing her as Hannah from Ballerina Farms, and like that lady is nothing like her. I mean, at least I don't think so. But
We don't know.
yeah, that's true. That's a fair point. But by what she projects on social media alone, I don't think she's like that. But like you said, who knows? That was basically the whole story, right? That these so-called tradwives have these fake lives that they put up on social media. So it was very interesting. How she projects like, oh, I can do all of this myself. I bake from scratch. I make our food. It's all organic and homegrown. And then at the end of the day, you see that oh, she has like 4 nannies and like a whole team behind her camera that helps her do all of this. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Um, it's crazy to me. She had like 6 kids by the time she was 32. That was insane.
Yeah.
And like she kept getting so jealous of Clementine, and that was so weird. Like, you're her mother. Why do you keep getting jealous of your daughter? That's just so weird. And their Target run, how she had to like kind of do it in secret. Like, how do you be so performative? Like, why? Like every day, like you wake up, from the moment you wake up, you're like thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to be perceived? It must be so exhausting. But yeah, I'm just reading off my notes. Uh, So, do you remember the character Reena, who she kept comparing
Oh my
herself
god,
to?
yes.
I mean, she kept thinking Reena must be so obsessed with me. I'm doing so much better than Reena. But to me, it felt like she was obsessing over her and
Yeah, she
comparing her
absolutely
life to
was.
her. So I think Reena was actually better off, even though she got, laid off and she had to start looking for a better job or whatever. I think Reena was so much better off than what she was going through. This was like crazy. Oh, my goodness. What else did I? Yeah, her back in time. I thought that was the whole premise of this book. I thought it was gonna be magical realism too, but every time she kept going back, um, a couple of things were weird. First of all, Mary was not acting like a 15-year-old girl. But then towards the end of the book, we later learn that oh, she was like kind of molded to be like that, which is why she did not give off a teenage vibe. She seemed like an adult. Like I thought, oh, is this like herself or like her ancestor at that age? And she was just living as her mother. And I was like, no, that's way too weird. I was overthinking it. But then how did she not realize that she was like what 54 or something or in her 50s? Like were there no looking glasses for her to like actually see her reflection? Because that's not something you can miss, right? If I'm 30, I'm not gonna expect myself to look like I looked like at 15 or whatever. So like if you're in your 50s, how do you not realize that you don't look like that? So that was kind of weird. But her being crazy the whole time, well, weird to say that. Her not being right in the head the whole time made much more sense at the end. Huh. I will say though, some of her commentary on being a mom and childbirth and breastfeeding and all of that, I have to agree. She was not crazy in those moments. She was absolutely spot on. I was like, am I going crazy then if I'm like kind of relating to this crazy person? But yeah, I mean, like, she was not crazy. That's all I can say. Also, I don't know who the author is because I don't think I've read any of her books before, but she knew her stuff when it came to religion. Like, either she was just doing it like in a ironic way, but even the character was like genuinely like talking about God and whatnot in a like genuine way. And even when the author was like quoting scripture and all, it was not like in a way where she was like, oh, let me just Google this and find a verse. She actually knew what she was talking about. So good for her. I think maybe this author might be Mormon. That's why she kind of knew what she was talking about, but I don't know enough about her. But yeah, I liked it. Can't complain.
To your point too about that um she knew what she was saying about motherhood. I think
Mm-hmm.
we're also like glazing over the fact that she was obviously very much going through postpartum something, either
Oh, yeah.
depression or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And like that was a part of it too. And I knew that bitch was insane the minute she started making up these stories about fucking Raina.
Mhm.
Like the minute she started like projecting like these weird I was like, "Oh, she's absolutely insane." Like she is insane. Because she had these like huge elaborate crazy stories about this girl that said like not even that much to her, and I was like, "Oh, so she's legit crazy. Like she is so insecure and she's going through something internally, so like that bitch is weird." And that was from college, okay?
Mhm.
College. And I also want to, and that's another thought that I had. Sorry. You were done, right, Manel?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I just did not like Caleb. Like he was.
Oh no, Caleb's a piece of shit. But I feel like that's,
I.
and then okay, I'm not talking shit about like religion because I know obviously you guys are religious, but I do feel like there are some facets of religion, and not necessarily Christianity, but just like certain like just religion in general, where um men get away with a lot, and women are have to put up with it because they're just wives and they got married and they value a marriage over a good partner. And I know that's not like what you guys think or your religion or whatever. I know Darren's a very good partner. I know Shawlin's a very good partner. But I remember in high school or when I went to Cal Baptist, like a ring before spring, like women want a husband before they want a good partner, if that makes any sense. And they value that more than getting to know somebody, like figuring it out. Like they want someone who's going to fit this ideal of what is being told to them, or like, hey, like, you know, a marriage and children and this and that, more than they want to really get to, one, know themselves first and foremost, or two, get to know their partner. um so Caleb was, and I feel like how many, and I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about this too. Just like, how many marriages do you know? And maybe it's not you guys. And again, maybe I'm just like chronically fucking online, where partners absolutely hate each other. Like they fucking hate each other. Like either the man hates the woman or the woman hates the man, but because they're religious or because they're like God fearing people, like they just stick it out, but talk absolute shit about each other all the fucking time. And again, I'm probably chronically online, and I see more. I'm getting hot more than you guys, but it's just like insane. Um, but Caleb was awful. His family was awful. Look at his fucking mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then what I was gonna say too is just like, I just personally hated her, but I loved her, but I hated her. You know what I mean? Also because like I feel like there was an opportunity for her to grow out of these ideals that she felt like she grew up with, because her mom at whatever age said like, hey, actually, I'm coming clean. I met a good pastor who accepts me for who I am, who accepts my daughter, blah, blah, blah. And like she was able to turn her life around and be like, turn her life around, but like be like, hey, you know what? I actually don't feel that way anymore. Like, this is why. But Natalie didn't. Natalie was just like wanted to just live in this like weird little freaky reality that she had. That's all. Darren's very quiet, so I feel like we have very different opinions on this. Okay,
Is it my turn?
Yep.
it's your turn.
Okay. It's interesting when you said like you talking about is it ring before spring? Do people say that? That's like a saying.
Oh,
Ring
what's a thing?
before. Hmm.
Oh yeah.
What's
See,
interesting is what you're saying is categorically not working. But I kind of agree with you. I think anyone our age that's like kind of Western agrees with you, but it is categorically not working. As soon as we started doing what you're saying, like getting to know people and then marriage afterwards, our divorce rates just kept getting worse since like the 1920s, and they've never stopped. And you can like look up studies, places in the world that still do arranged marriages. They're much more successful. And what people think is the problem is when we like get to know people and we fall in love and we get for and we get married for that reason. Um, till death do us part, through thick and through thin, good and bad, you're not really promising to those things because you're not even imagining that they will happen. But when your marriage is arranged and you're basically like forced into it and it's like an actual like almost business contract, you're like more thoughtfully saying like, I know this is going to get bad sometimes, but I'm going to stick it through because I'm deciding to, rather than like letting like love heal all. Anyways, it's just interesting. I was like watching a YouTube video about that maybe like a week ago, and what you were saying just made me think of it. I mean, it's like it's not like I want my marriage to be arranged, so it sounds like backward. But like if you look at the numbers, ever since we started doing it the way we like, it has been failing worse and worse year over year for about 100 years.
remind me to come back to that
Yeah,
because
um,
I'm gonna
I
come
have
back to
like a
that
counter
too.
yeah,
argument
fair
about
enough.
that too.
Fair enough.
Not with the 1920, but yeah.
Okay, so about this book, which I don't think this book really has anything to do with that in particular, because this book's just I didn't like it that much. I think that this is one of those books that suffers from it's probably better if I heard about it on Book Talk and crap like you guys did. Like I knew the synopsis, I had watched a really detailed movie trailer. But if I hadn't, then the experience kind of sort of like sucks. Um, yeah, which again, like I'm solid on the fact that that is a failing of an author or a movie maker. Even though people like maybe they don't think about that enough, but your book or your movie should state what it is clearly without saying it. I am a firm believer. But yeah, with this one, I was definitely scratching my head for a while about what it was. I kind of predicted that it was Truman Show really early. I think I was like pretty solidly sure that that's what was going on since maybe like 15% in, because it was like the only like logical thing in my mind. But still I was kind of like questioning my three main like thought processes was she was actually going back in time. I guess I'm saying these in order of the way I wish they were. I think that if she was actually doing that, it would have been a little bit better or more interesting. And I'll kind of get to why. Maybe second up, I don't really know. Second up and third up are maybe tied for like I'm not really like a big fan. The second possibility was this read very much like a satire, but in my opinion, it was a very poor satire if it was a satire. So like if it was a satire, I was like, this satire is like failing on like all fronts because it's not convincing me of anything because all of its political opinions or whatnot, it's undermining by the fact that like this woman is crazy, and so why would I take this as like an example of, you know what I mean? So like it wasn't really a good satire, even though I think it probably took inspiration from being like satirical, but if I should look at I should eh, eh, eh. I mean, the New York Times called it a bold and biting satire. I don't know if it called itself that, but it felt like that, but it didn't feel like a very good one. I'm oddly the type of person that a satire would work on because it's usually very like dry and sarcastic humor. But if this was supposed to be a satire by the author, I think it was a poor one. Um, and then the third possibility was that it was Truman Show, and I thought that that was probably going to be like the most. It's not boring. I mean, that's an interesting concept that a whole fleet of people is Truman showing you. It's just like I said, I was pretty sure that's what was going on for most of this as it was like happening. I think mostly for me it was just because there was like utterly no explanation for what was going on. And so in my mind, I started believing more and more that it was going to be the Truman Show route. Um, and I don't know, that just like It just seems like stupid that someone would Truman Show someone for this. Side note that I thought was like interesting, and this is not a bad thing of this. I think this is maybe just like a neutral comment, but this is a great example of a Hollywood depiction of mental illness. I think this is a very poor example of what mental illness would actually look like, but this is more like what we're used to seeing and used to hearing from shows, TV shows, movies, and books and whatnot. Unlike Bell Jar, which is just wildly different. But yeah, if anything, I think people should more so go this. It's gonna what Bell Jar did was like maybe like too weirdly experimental for your average bean out there. But I thought that was fine. Who did I think about the? I agree with you guys. What you guys said about like characters. I don't think we were supposed to like these characters really, so I didn't. But I don't find that to be like a, like Julie said, like I wasn't mad at the fact that she was insufferable or that I didn't like Caleb. You were supposed to not like them.
Mhm.
Um, I guess, I guess, yeah. I wonder how this would have gone if I like, because I'm assuming with based on what you guys did know going into this, because you both said, or what did you say? Fantasy fiction, realistic fiction. What was the
Magical
phrase?
realism.
Magical realism. Like when you picked this book up, you were kind of like expecting that based off of like tidbits that you had seen online, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um yeah, maybe if I had gone into it with like a presupposed premise, I would have enjoyed it more or something. But I spent like a good like first half of the book just sort of scratching my head like what the heck is supposed to be going on here? And in my mind, yeah, like I said, maybe I would have enjoyed it like most if she was actually somehow traveling back in time. But that as I was reading, I was like, "There's no way this is real. There's no way she's actually back in time right now." Uh, yeah, and I don't know. I I think my favorite version of this book is would have been if they just went hard on the satire route, but it was like a well done satire. I think I would have liked that. But for me, this was like a strange amalgamation that I was like, "Hmm, right, right."
Wait, question.
Hmm.
Have any idea what the Tradwife controversies are on like social media?
Um, I don't know about controversies. I'm aware of the term and that
Hmm.
there's yeah. I guess my understanding is like I think a lot of wives end up becoming trad wives when they go north of 2 or 3 kids, just because they realize that that's really damn hard. But a trad wife is more so someone who's like proud of it and showing off. Like that's like the main delineator, because like just because you're a trad wife doesn't mean you're like also being pioneer, right? It just means that you're like happy to stay at home and cook, and you share this life on social media because you think you're like proud of it. Is that fair?
Yeah, pretty much right. I think that like people have kind of warped the definition of it. Like when I think of Tradwife, I'm thinking of these social media influencers who are like,
Narcissist.
oh, I do everything
Version
from
of it.
scratch. And like I
Yeah,
don't vaccinate, I hardly go to the doctors, I have my own hens and I get my own eggs, stuff like that. I don't think of a mom who has 3 kids and decides to stay at home. It's like so
Yeah,
beyond.
it's
sure.
different.
Yeah.
It's you get
Because there's
beyond
nothing
that.
wrong with that. Of course, like
No.
we can all
No.
understand a mom doing that. This is more someone that
Yeah.
like takes it to like a weird extreme, basically, and shows it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because technically
And
they
almost
would
looks
also fall
down
in that,
on.
but it's like I'm thinking of like the extreme cases, like the one that's being like glorified on like TikTok and stuff like that. That's who I think when
sure.
I think of trad wife. But yeah, no,
Do
you're
you
right. Those.
follow any of those people, or do any of them show up on your feed? Like, do you know Treadwives and you both
Blocked.
of you? Oh,
Not
you block
interested.
them. Okay, and you seem very
I get them
proud
on and off.
I'm not picking up a book down.
of blocking them.
I've seen
No,
it on and
because
off.
it's harmful. Like the other half of that, like the other part of this discussion is that is so that depiction of motherhood is so fucking harmful to people, one, who don't have the resources, and two, who are young and impressionable.
Yeah.
Because being a trad wife is hard. It's not easy. Like it's not easy work. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, yeah, I have opinions.
Yeah,
Yeah, and also
I wish that we preached more trad wives, but like in like a good way, like a healthy way. Just making sure that you either don't have 3 kids unless you can do this, or just lifting up mothers that decide to do this because they just want their kids to be good. You know what I mean? Because there's
Yeah.
obviously like good things.
Audio went out.
hello. Oh, it's
Wait,
still
no, no,
on.
no, we can't hear you. Like you're talking.
No, I
Can't
also
hear
can't hear
you.
him.
Okay. Me and Manila have a conversation. Yeah, I think it's like so incredibly harmful, and I think this is like a perfect depiction of that too. Because like, guess what? She did show all of these people, and she did have help. And they would look at her, they'd be like, "Oh my god!" Like that one girl, "You helped me get out of my depressive episode. I after I had my kid." Blah blah. Oh my god, yeah. Okay, that's so different. That's so different, and I feel the same way too. Especially because kids are on social media all the time now, and they can't fucking form a thought on their own. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're gonna have these children pop out 6 kids, have your
Oh,
husband
hello,
just
hello.
fucking work,
Okay.
not contribute, like not help whatsoever because you're the woman that has to stay at home and you are the shepherd of your house, and then you lose your mind, and then you can't keep up, and then you feel like a failure, and then it just like snowballs into these crazy things, and I don't agree with it.
And on the other side of that, I don't know whether this is AI. I'm really hoping this was AI, but from what I've seen, it looks to be true. There was this lady who did a gender reveal. She wanted a boy, found out that she was going to have a girl, and she's like, "Nope, I'm not doing this." And she took abortion pills like then and there. I'm like, "No, this cannot be real. This has to
I
be
didn't see
AI."
that. That's crazy. That can't be
That
real.
was like too like way out there for me. So
You're
I don't know
saying
whether
that's
it
like the
was.
opposite of a trad wife, or you're saying a trad
Yeah,
wife
like
did that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
two different
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
spectrums. So
Yeah, I
And see,
think
here's
I
my
think
thing.
there's grossness on either side of the two far
mhm.
spectrums, basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
fix my straw top. And here's my thing. And I've said this all the time, and you guys know that I say this. I respect everybody's decision to do whatever the fuck they want. Like it's none of my business. You want to be a child wife? Go ahead, be a child wife. You want to take abortion pills because you're that's kind of But like you want to do whatever the hell you want to do, like that's your business. I don't give a fuck. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I think both sides are fucking crazy,
Yeah.
and I think social media has just allowed us just to be like just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I'm in this career.
Yeah, if anything, my main takeaway from this was, and I know how ridiculous it was, but it was mostly just sort of like we need to somehow destroy all social media, otherwise we're
Yeah.
doomed. I
Yeah.
think that's I think that's because this is just one crazy outlet, but I think I think basically anybody that goes crazy and goes extreme, any extremist on social media, regardless of the direction, I think is very toxic for our society. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
I agree.
go extreme because they're not doing it like in real life. Like you wouldn't do
No,
this in
and
front
they
of someone
want
at a
the
Walmart.
views.
Yeah, you're just doing it for clicks. You're doing it because you can hide behind a camera and it's not your actual. Yeah, it's like it's all. It's just gross. Like it's just you know. Yeah, yeah. Was there anybody you guys liked in this book very much? Like, how about any of like the nannies or the helpers? I didn't really care about
No.
anybody, but it also for me wasn't like a detractor. I didn't feel like I was supposed to like love anybody. But did you guys like anybody?
Again, sorry, like no, I didn't like anybody, but I'm going back to like the whole social media thing and blah blah blah. Caleb was a sheep. He was stupid. He was dumb. He had no motivation. He had nothing going for him except daddy's money. And guess what he did? Got online and found other stupid fucking men who told him, "Look how many times he changed his fucking mind." Like, bro, what the fuck? No,
You
crazy,
know what's
crazy.
funny about Caleb, that I was shocked that they didn't do this. And again, like maybe like in my
He was
my
gonna be
my hope
gay.
hoping for like a satirical thing, like maybe they should have done this in, but like with everything they were doing, what was the girl's name? Whatever her name was.
Natalie?
Natalie. With everything they were doing with Natalie, why didn't they make him like a flat earther and obsessed with that? Because didn't it
Well, I
sound like that
mean,
was like
he was
exactly what he
close.
was doing? Yeah, no, I know, but he was like so close that I'm like, for the way this book is and how extreme everything is, why not just make him a flat earther? Because he basically is. And I was like, what a missed opportunity. Because
Also,
he
what
was
was up with
crazy.
him
He was
wanting to
crazy in his own
fucking
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
milk the cow? Talk about a fetish.
Uh. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the manosphere and him saying no, he was a flat earther. That isn't. I think it was implied. It was implied that man was
Implied
a flat
flat
earther.
earther. I don't know. I don't know if there's such thing as an implied flat earther. I think once you go there, you start preaching it from the mountaintops.
I think that's just like a very good example of a yes man and a woman who wants to just say yes to her man.
Mm, yes, man. Oh, I see. So
Like
what do you what?
like that's that. Okay, I guess what I should say. That's a really good example of a man being surrounded by yes men and a woman who just wants to say yes to her man, which is a yes man, but still.
Hmm.
Like at any point in time, she could have said something, and then like for now that I'm really thinking about it, my birder is browning and my brain is burning. Um, like she was smart enough to see her future, right? She was smart enough to see like her husband was a loser. They needed a fucking plan. She was smart enough to say like, okay, I can use my father-in-law to my advantage. Blah 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 blah. But she was still fucking batshit crazy. Like you could have used your powers for good, girl, and you were close. You just turned left at the fork, and look what happened.
I personally thought that because this is no, it's not a mental illness. It's like something else. For me personally, the whole time I thought of her as primarily a sociopath.
Mm.
And I saw that in her from like very very like early on. I think that was another reason why I was like sus about what this book was about and where it was going. But to me that like explained a lot of her behavior. Like her little like weird like murderous thoughts, but not all sociopaths actually become murderers. So like that was like reasonable for her to think that way. And but I mean either way, it's not like it's not like I'm saying she's like a way better person because she's a sociopath instead. It's just that's kind of like how I was taking it rather than because
Yeah.
I was thinking about like okay, let's say she's suffering from something. What is she suffering from? That was the only thing that like fit the criteria best for me. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And like talking about like this and I again I think social media is like a huge theme of this book, so I can talk about it a little bit more, I guess you could say. But like this is a perfect example. Oh my god, my spatula. Let me
Oh,
wipe this off. Hold on. I
I
think this
thought I
is.
thought for sure you just lost the whole pot.
Oh no, the plot maybe the pot no. This is like a perfect example of like why we shouldn't just platform people like at all. Like she
Uh,
could have been like that crazy by herself and not on social media, right? And then she could
yeah,
have like that would have been fine. You're just harming yourself, you're just harming your bubble, whatever. But the minute she got a platform and she got millions of followers, it's just like you're actively
yeah,
and there's like you're actively harming other people by and there's so many how many all of these fucking challenges that you see kids dying from, you see them getting hurt from, you see them trying to like look clavicular who's like microdosing meth and saying this you have to look hot. All of these stupid people, all of these insane sociopaths get a fucking platform and they're personable and people follow them and then look what happens. Like look what fucking happens. Like it's insane. It's insane.
yeah. And I was thinking about this too, and this is probably maybe like one of the few actually maybe like realistic aspects of the book is any of the people you can describe, whether it's like a zany person from like left, right, up or down, it doesn't really matter. Just any extremist online. Um, isn't it all of our isn't it just humanity's fault that they get so many followers?
Yes. And I
Yes.
think this ties back into the conversation, the book that we just read by the Sapiens author.
Mm,
Humans in general are just looking for something to follow. They are looking for the word. They want to believe in something, whether that be religion, whether that be QAnon, whether it be the earth is flat. It's no difference. These are just people who want to follow something, who want to have something, you know what I mean? And we're at the age where before it was obviously like religion. It was QAnon, like all of these conspiracy theories. Now it's just like social. It's these influencers,
It's their
and
new
it's
god
insane.
or idol or whatever.
It's their new idol. Like they're creating
Mm.
these idols because they need somebody to tell them this, to tell them what to think, to tell them this, or to give them something to believe in. And social media just allowed anybody to be able to do that.
I think it's because
You should
people are
see the
awful.
parasocial relationships that people have
Yeah, parasocial's
with
big
influencers.
part of it too. Yeah. I just think it's because people are gross. We're all gross and we like gross
They are
things.
gross. They are do like gross things.
But it's probably a bit of all of these things because like it can't be that it's only gross and that parasocial doesn't have anything to do with it because that's like a huge part of it. And everything you just said, I think it's just all. I think it's all the. But we're like a perfect species to fall for this, and it's really
Yeah.
sad. And that's why like even though like I would like to abolish all of it, it's all just gonna get worse. We're
No,
gonna
it
end up
is.
being like the Zoe books, the crazy dystopian
Oh my
future and how
god,
social media was
yes.
there because that's what we
Yes.
want. Like as a species, that's we want that grossness for some reason, which is really sad. But this book nails that. Like this woman, this crazy woman would get 1 billion followers. She'd get like a 500 million followers from people that hate her. She'd get a 500 million followers from people that love her. Or maybe it's like 400 and 400 and then the other 200 are just people trying to like ride on her coattails trying to do the same thing themselves, but like
Yeah.
whatever it is, like this is the type of unstable person that should not have a platform that we all love to
No.
follow because we're humans, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so crazy too because it's a vicious cycle. Because me doing this for a living, look at me selling out to the man. Just kidding, I have a job.
Yeah, you're not doing it for a living.
People
Yes.
want to deplatform people, and people also, it comes to the point, especially with influencers now, the tide is a little bit turning, where they immediately stop supporting them when they seem like they're not, like when they quit their jobs and like they're bringing all this money. People are like, oh, like I can't imagine myself like this anymore. Like, and they start to like not support them when their lives become too good because you just want to see people where you're at.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then that's just
Like
another.
it seems not authentic. That's what I was trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah,
They're
but
like, oh,
that's
this is
that
inauthentic. Like, blah blah blah.
but then that's like another like not equally lame. This one's okay lame, but I think it's still like a lame part of our existence. You're talking about this need to follow indie things. And that's true in like
Mm.
almost every medium. And it's funny because like your need to follow indie things gives you a genre. So you're not being as unique as you think you are. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
By following that just slightly alt route, but it's still a well paved route. It's like not yeah. But yeah, that's fair. That's interesting. I didn't really know that was happening or like that, but that's like a trend as people are getting as people's bubbles are bursting in terms of them getting too big, they'll kind of plateau because then they're becoming fake to people's eyes or whatever it is. That's kind of cool. Maybe is that cool? Yeah, no, I think that's a good thing. Oh, you're muted. No, you're not muted. I think maybe your headphones maybe stop working.
Can you repeat what you said?
Uh, no. What was I saying?
Okay,
I
that's
lost
fine.
everything. Oh, you couldn't hear me, Manel. Could you hear me?
Yeah.
Was there something wrong with me again?
No, someone
Oh,
called me and then it cut
got
out
it.
my audio.
Got it. Nope. Can't rewind my brain.
That's
Do
fine.
not have DVR support.
I believe you.
You were saying how it's cool that people aren't following these influencers once they
Oh
reach
yeah,
a
yeah,
certain
yeah.
level
I,
of
I was just saying that that's interesting
fame.
that you're seeing that happening. That
Relatable. Like they stop
yeah,
being relatable.
it's
That's
making
the other
people
word I was looking for.
plateau once they
Um,
hit like a too large of a size. That's
mhm.
hmm, noteworthy, I
Well,
guess.
anyway, all of this started. I'm pretty sure we can end the discussion because we can go on forever. All of this started because there's this influencer called Ballerina Farms, and she's a very trad wife influencer. She's in cotton every day. She's hand making her bread. She has a bunch of children. They're on her hip in the kitchen. She has chickens. She has cows. Her husband loves her. They live on an acre. Blah blah blah. Her kitchen literally looks like an old tiny kitchen. Okay, and I remember the day this broke, and I'm sure people were like building it up and building it up. Like they loved her, ballerina farms, blah blah blah. One day someone's like, well, actually that bitch is fucking rich. Why is she cosplaying as a fucking poor pioneer woman? Her stove was just like a very like 1950s stove, and they're like, it's like a $17,000 stove. Her husband is a nepo baby, and his father owns like a bunch of airlines or some weird thing. They're loaded. They are fucking loaded. And this bitch is on here saying like, oh, look at me and my cotton apron with my 10 kids making bread and doing our chickens. And people are like, girl, what?
To me,
And
that
that's how
would
that happened.
not like invalidate her one bit. Like, did she actually stop making content, or is she still popular
No,
even
she
despite
kept doing
that?
it, and people
No,
she has a lot of support. She has
Yeah,
like protein powder and
because
all kinds of shit
because
now.
to me, like if you didn't know that from watching her, then like you're the idiot. I mean, does that make like is that like a hot take or something like that?
No, I don't.
I mean,
but
I think
I got
again.
to know.
Go ahead, Manu.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I got
Yes.
to know about her because some journalist went and wrote an article about her because she
Mm-hmm.
was a ballerina. She was training to be a professional ballerina. And then she kind of stopped after she got married. And then she had all these 8 children. And she was like living on the farm and whatnot. So people were questioning, like, why are you not a ballerina? Like, why did you give up all of this to like do this? And so she didn't really like answer those questions, but that's how I got to know about it. Like after this story broke out. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah, she had another
And now they're on like
baby.
a PR train where her husband built her a dance studio in the back of their 15,000 million acre lot with a plane and like all kinds of shit. And now
yeah,
she's like competing in pageants because she didn't get to do it when she had
and
her
I
kids and
and
blah
I
blah blah.
was I
You
was just
chose
gonna
that
say
bitch.
like in it from my vantage point, like I'm just thinking from like a marketing standpoint. To me, that story would only help her because then she can
Yeah, no,
finally
it
just be more
definitely did.
obvious about her money, and then she can take
Yeah,
her
it helped.
platform to a new level by just spending more money on it more obviously. You know what I'm saying? I but I mean I'm sure there was like some people out there that were like disappointed and really thinking that she was living. I don't even know. Like I guess because like if you're ever looking at someone on social media and nowadays in 2026 like maybe you could have like feigned ignorance like 12 or 15 years ago, but nowadays if you see someone getting millions of clicks and engagement and you believe them to be poor, I think that's a shame on you as the user, not on the creator at that point. Like we all know that as soon as you pass some certain threshold, these people are the 1%.
No.
They're the top earners in the world. You know, and if you don't, like if you can't just like see the number below their pictures and like recognize that and like make believe something else in your mind, like that's weird. I guess I do occasionally see that. Well, that has happened a few times over the years, like with in my spheres of the gaming people, like people on Twitch that are like kind of like pretending to be like the people's people, but they have millions of followers, so like clearly they're millionaires and they're just not, But yeah, I don't know. That's interesting though. Good for her and all her money making. I guess
Go girl.
she's she's made it. Uh,
No, but they sell like bougie stuff. Like their meat
Mm-hmm.
is like 180 bucks a
Mm-hmm.
pound and
you
whatnot.
can
So they
buy
have
her
like,
actual meat from her farm.
From her farm.
yeah, you
Wow,
can.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's wild. Are you guys aware? Well, it's become a meme, so a few people have tried this. But are you guys aware of like the original story of like this gamer Twitch girl who bottled her bath water and sold it
Sniper.
and made a
Oh
lot
Sniper
of.
Wolf.
yeah.
Was it
Actually,
Sniper Wolf?
originally who did it was Belle Delphine, but I think Sniper Wolf did it
Oh, it
as
was
well.
Belle Delphine. Guys,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I'm online too much.
her bath broth, and
That's
people ate
funny.
it up. People ate it up.
They did it for Sydney Sweeney and again, Sydney Sweeney and like Sasquatch as like a joke. That bitch is. Anyways,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. Sasquatch is pretty good actually. I someone gave it to me for free because I always saw the commercials and then like someone had some and gave me like a bar and I was like, pretty good soap,
Oh,
man soap.
interesting. Good to know.
Yeah, I saw it at Sam's Club and I took a whiff of. I was like,
Oh,
why
is
does it
that
smell
right?
so good when I
It
was
smell it's
walking by
really
and it was like,
and once you
it does
lather it,
smell
like
so
it's a
good.
pretty nice soap. I was like, okay. I mean, as long as
Oh, now I
with
need
all
to
those
try
stupid
it.
ads, like at least
Yeah,
it's
I've
like an
never tried
actual
it because of
good
ads.
product.
The ads piss me off.
Another one that have you got that stupid air cons? No. Air
The headphones that
Raycons.
every Twitch fucking
Yeah,
streamer
those
gets.
suck. So that's like an opposite. Those things are horrible. But yeah, Sasquatch. I give it my seal of approval. Okay, while we were doing this, I put the book up. I'm not going to bother with the written because it's graphic and you know how those go. This thing is like 2 hours. So if
Oh,
this is
perfect.
even
It's
remotely
very
good, we'll
short.
definitely blow through all of these. But I say I don't think we should do something weird where we like read the first two and then meet. We should just read this one and meet. But it's probably going to be like we meet like tomorrow or the next day because it's that short.
It's just 2 hours, so it's an hour.
No, it's not an
That is
hour.
true.
It's 2 hours.
I'll
God.
be done. I'll be done by the time these cookies are done.
Jeez. But actually, for me, it's going to be more like probably like an hour 40 because I don't. You guys, do you 2x graphic audios? That's like sacrilege.
I'll do
No,
like
one.
1.7, 1.8 because it still
Really?
sounds good. Yeah,
I
it still
mean,
sounds great.
it'll sound good, but like I don't know. Like if I go past 1.3, like I'm just not
I
having as much fun.
If I ever listen to anything on one, I literally feel like my feet are dragging through the mud
Yes.
and I am dying. I'm drowning. I'm in quicksand. I want to kill myself when I have to listen to things on one.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Bye, YouTube.
I'm not.